Welcome to Pishi Bomba. My name is Claire Karatu. We are in the pneumatic kitchen, and what we do here is we invite you, our viewers, into this very kitchen, and we teach you how to make absolutely anything. Now, on today's episode, we are excited because I'm back to my roots, the sweet tooth. I love making anything sweet, so stay tuned to find out what we'll be making. Now, not only do we make delicious food, we also get to meet amazing guests. You, our viewers, various people who want to learn a specific dish, but also chefs who have specifically placed their heart on a plate and want to show us a step-by-step on what they serve us in the restaurants. So welcome to Pishi Bomba. Let's cook. Now, for our chocolate muffins, I like to use oil as the base fat for the muffins rather than using butter or margarine. Yeah, and it works perfectly for chocolate cakes, for chocolate muffins. And I'm adding about 3/4 cup of oil straight in there. And then we're going to go in with our sugar. We have a 1/2 cup of sugar straight in there. And then we're going to add our 3 eggs also straight in here. Now, with our eggs, you want to make sure that you crack them outside of your mixture just to make sure that our eggs are still fresh. Otherwise, then you'll mess the whole dough or the whole batter if you crack your eggs inside your bowl, okay? We'll add our last one. All right, now into the bowl this goes, and then we are going to mix this either with your hand whisk or with your hand mixer, which I'll use a hand mixer just to get that air in perfectly. All right, so let's mix this. I've given that a bit of a mix, and this is how it looks. You can see the air that's been incorporated in there. That's what we're looking for. We want to add our zucchini at this point. A little bit of zucchini. This is one grated zucchini. Your pinch of salt, very, very important. You have to put your salt in your cakes, otherwise you'll have a very flat cake. That's key when you're making cake. And of course, a teaspoon of vanilla essence just straight in there. Just a little bit more salt. And then the last thing that we're going to add is 1/2 cup of coffee. This enriches, it just gives that chocolate cake that lovely richness that you need. It's just perfect. And I'm going to give this a mix again. That's perfect. And then at this point is where you want to add in your sifted cocoa. You can see this is sifted. You want to add in your sifted cocoa. We've got 1/2 cup of sifted cocoa going in. And then we're going to add 1.5 cups of self-raising flour. Now, if you don't have self-raising flour, you can go ahead and use regular flour, but add 2 teaspoons of baking powder, okay? So that goes my first cup, and then I'm just going to add a 1/2. All right, so we've added our flour. I'm just going to fold this up so that we can make sure we don't get a mess there. Now, you want to be careful with cocoa powder because it does splatter a lot. So what we want to do is first gently give it a mix before turning on your machine if you're using a hand mixer, so that you don't get flour all over your face or cocoa powder all over your face as well. I'm going to turn this on and give this a mix. Also very important, as you go, scrape it. We're going to scrape the sides. See, we still got some of the flour stuck on the sides just to make sure that everything is well incorporated. And you don't want to over mix your batter as well. Now, the last bit is you want to add your dark chocolate chunks because, we just want to make it super chocolatey. So we're just going to go ahead and add about 1/4 cup of chopped chocolate compound, and that's dark chocolate compound. And then we're just going to gently incorporate that into our mixture. This is a consistency that we're looking for. You don't want a thick batter, especially for chocolate cake. You want it to be moist. If you do add more flour, you'll tend to see that it's going to get very, very dry. You don't want that. So we're just going to give this a mix. You can see the little chunks of zucchini, the little chunks of chocolate, and the zucchini actually adds to the moisture as well, which is just perfect. All right, now what we're going to do is we are going to begin to, I'll just put this here. It's got a little bit of the flour, not worry about that. We're going to begin to put our cupcake muffin holders, We've got these pretty brown ones to go for with the chocolate themed. We're just gonna go ahead and place each on the cupcake tray. Now, muffin holders don't hold shape unless you have them in your cupcake tray. Most people will put this on a tray, and what's going to happen is it's going to overflow and open up. Don't make that mistake. Just put it in your tray so that it can hold the shape. All right, now what we're going to do is we are going to grab our cake mixture. I'm going to move this on the side, and then we're just going to individually make sure that we have each cupcake holder filled to the same amount as much as possible, okay? Now, how I tend to do that is use an ice cream scoop. If you don't have an ice cream scoop, then just use a regular spoon and just make sure you scoop out almost the same amount. All right, our muffins are ready. We're going to pop them into the oven at 180 degrees for 20-15 minutes, depending on your oven, and we'll be right back. So we're going to go on a short break. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back to Pishi Bomba. We have been in the kitchen making some delicious muffins. If you're just joining us, then you haven't missed much. We still have one more flavor to go. We've made the zucchini chocolate muffins, which are in the oven, sort of rising, just making sure that they cook through. And now we're going to do a delicious vanilla chocolate chip. Very simple, very yummy. This is actually most people's favorite flavor. All right, we're going to begin by creaming our butter and sugar, which is a very simple process of making sure that we have everything smoothened out. Now, you can use margarine. It works just as fine. We've got half a cup of butter. We've got half a cup of sugar. You can use less if you prefer your cake to be less sweet. And we're just going to add that in there. And then we're just going to cream this until it's light and fluffy. Now, I like to add a tablespoon of oil just to add to the moisture of the cake. All right, now as you can see, it's turned nice and pale. That's what you're looking for. You're looking for that lightness and fluffiness. And then as you know it, we're going to break our eggs away from. And for this, you just want to add one by one. It's not like the chocolate one that we did where we sort of dumped everything in one bowl. This one, you want to be just a little bit more, I guess, careful when we're mixing it up. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to add our first egg and then mix this. Perfect. And then we're going to repeat the process with the other eggs. That looks perfect. This is what we have, a nice mixture that's mixed through. Now, key ingredient, salt. You want to make sure you add your pinch of salt, always do when you're making cake, and then your teaspoon of vanilla essence straight in there. We're gonna give that a mix in just a bit. We're gonna add half a cup of flour into this, and then we give that a mix. As you can see, I'm not over mixing because we don't want to have a flaky muffin. And then you want to scrape down all the flour that you have on the corners and just make sure that everything is well incorporated. Now at this point, I will add in half a cup of milk, actually a quarter for starters. I'm just gonna add all the half of it and then give that a mix. We're gonna add the rest of the flour and give that a mix again. That's a half cup. This time we'll add a cup of it. So we've put 1.5 cups of flour in there. You want to make sure you scrape down everything as we add our chocolate chips straight in there, and then incorporate the chocolate chips as you scrape down your flour from the bowl, just to make sure that everything is well incorporated. So basically, this is the consistency that we're looking for. As you can see, it's not as runny as our chocolate muffin. We're gonna scoop this into our muffin holders, pop it in the oven as we remove the chocolate ones that are ready. I can already smell them. It smells so fantastic right now. So we're gonna scoop this in our muffin holders, and then we're gonna pop it into the oven at 180 degrees for 15 to 20 minutes. But we're gonna keep checking, not opening our oven, just keeping an eye on them as they rise so that they don't over brown. All right, now our muffins are in the tray. We're gonna pop them into the oven as we remove the other ones to cool, and then clear this area. And once everything is ready, we're going to show you just how they turned out. All right, and there we have it. We have taken them out of the oven. The chocolate ones have cooled a little bit more than the vanilla choc chip ones. I just want to show you the inside of one of these chocolate ones. You cannot see the zucchini at all. Just look at that, super moist. You've got that lovely chocolate chip just popping out of each and every one, and you can't see the vegetable in there, but it's super moist. I'm gonna go in with one of these lovely chocolate chip ones. Again, you got the lovely flakes of chocolate chips. You've got the moistness of the cake as well. It's just the butter and the oil, let me tell you. It's just absolutely gorgeous. And there you have it. You have these delicious chocolate zucchini muffins and chocolate chip vanilla muffins. I'm going to dig into one of them immediately. I know this one is sweet. Let me try the vanilla one. I can't spoil for choice. And you can be spoiled for choice as well if you make this for yourself. Oh yeah. This with a lovely cup of tea, or even just as is, or even with a tall glass of milk, just perfect. I can't wait to dig into more of this. And of course, we can't wait to see what you get to recreate in your kitchen. Send us pictures. Tell us what you think about this recipe. Was it easy? Was it delicious? Did it come out just right? That's what we're here for on Pishi Bomba, to make sure that each recipe works out in your kitchen. A big thank you to Pneumatic for having us in their kitchen. And of course, to you, our viewers as well. Happy cooking. Bye. Do this now. Continuity. Hela, hizi ziko ngapi? 12 zitatosha. Hey. Yawa. Hii itakuwa time lapse. Sitasema mengi. Bro, we're very ready for Tuesday. Nyinyi mko kadi nyinyi? Yeah, of course.